This is Learn the Burner. I'm Garrett,
And there's no,
and today we're talking about Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Whee! Have you seen the movie?
of course.
I have also seen the movie. It is a 1980s film directed by Irvin Kershner. What? Wait a minute. That was George Lucas. Oh, that's right. You said he pretty much had a heart attack and gave it to someone else.
Yeah, you're like a stressy panic attack.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, opening crawl. It is a dark time for the rebellion. Although the Death Star has been destroyed, Imperial troops have driven the rebel forces from their hidden base and pursued them across the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Before we get too far, let me just note the atrocity of not giving Chewbacca a medal in the last movie.
Yes.
That was, I remember when watching it, and he didn't get a medal, and then he was standing there, and he just does the noise, and you're like thinking, okay, do they not recognize him as a person? Is that what this means, or what's going on?
He did the exact same thing Han Solo did. Besides, like, let's blow this guy and get out of here. Like instead, like dropping that famous line.
Yeah, like he was there the whole time.
Chewie probably convinced him, like, Han, the fuck, dude.
Yeah, and he did not get a medal. Like, a little weird.
Yeah, he did get the final line in the movie. Like, fuck this. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so this is right after that.
True atrocity. We end that movie on a high note. Blow up the Death Star. Chewbacca gets the last line. And then now they're on the run. I guess the Emperor says, we got to go get him. The Emperor didn't down the Death Star.
Yeah, I mean, they blew up their biggest, baddest weapon.
Or so you think. Apparently.
I think
at that time, that was the biggest, baddest weapon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, evading the dreaded Imperial Starfleet is led by Luke Skywalker, has established a new secret base on the remote ice world of Hoth.
Yes.
Yes, the ice world.
Everybody knows Hoth.
Yes, it's cold. The evil Lord Darth Vader, obsessed with finding young Skywalker, has dispatched thousands of remote probes in the far reaches of space. ... Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
So they're literally being hunted down. Like,
yeah, they're searching.
The government, the Empire, is like. So
the government of the Empire is like.
The government, aka the Empire, basically completely turned up every stone to find the rebels. But
yeah, I mean they destroyed their biggest. Well, they destroyed a big thing.
Yes, one of many giant things that are in construction.
Oh boy. Okay, the search for Skywalker. We have thousands of probe droids searching the galaxy. I want proof, not leads. That's a quote from Admiral Kendall Ozzel.
Yes, of course.
Don't know who that is.
My favorite admiral. The best one.
It is now 3 years after the events of A New Hope. Oh, I didn't realize there was a 3-year gap. Huh.
Yeah, they have to explain why everybody looks older and fatter.
I didn't really know. I mean, okay, Luke does look a little older.
You know why? I think I've mentioned it a few times.
Wait, is this the car wreck thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you told me.
They do this holiday special, and then you like basically like cake makeup all over his face, and they're like, "All right, I'm gonna go meet up with Han and Luke." Oh no, my ship is crashing, and then like they like pour smoke all over his face, and then they cut away. So like he gets like a cameo in the holiday special.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're talking about the famous one, the Wookiee one, right?
Yeah. Well, look up a picture of Luke in the holiday special. He like
I just did.
He looks like he's in the Nutcracker play, he's like caked up.
He looks like a Ken doll. He has like bass on.
lots of bass. A lot of makeup. A whole lot of makeup. Yeah.
Oh man.
So basically his face is covered for like the first 30 minutes of this movie, and then he gets mauled in the face by a Wampa.
Oh, and that's how they play it off. Okay.
Yeah, they have scab makeup on him for the rest of the movie over his like actual scarred up face.
Well, I'm glad he's okay. He's a cool dude.
Very cool dude. Real chill motherfucker.
He's the Joker.
Yeah.
All right. The Rebel Alliance has been forced to flee its base on Yavin 4 and establish a new one on the ice planet of Hoth. Okay, so the rebels are chilling here, ice planet.
Literally.
An Imperial Star Destroyer dispatched by the Sith Lord Darth Vader, continuing his quest for Luke Skywalker, launches thousands of probe droids across the galaxy. One of which lands on Hoth. Hey, if I skip something, just stop me.
I think we see like almost immediately like the Super Star Destroyer, which is Darth Vader's ship.
Okay.
And it's like, I guess, the substitute for the Death Star for this one. Like, we need a giant ship, massive dreadnought ship, you know? So, like, this is the one.
They revealed at the very beginning, that's like a Death Star ship.
Kind of. It's like 3 times as big as a Star Destroyer or some crap. I don't know.
So it's like a super mall.
Yeah.
Like a big super mall triangle in space.
It's more like California or something, you know?
Oh, wow.
Or like LA, maybe.
Man.
Like giant city.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty profound.
Yeah, I know. Like, I look at it and like they have like I watched it today and they have like a small one fly by and then like they like show it in comparison. I was like, like a Star Destroyer is supposed to be like a battleship, you know, like with just like a floating city or whatever. And then like see like the small Star Destroyer is just like the bottom half, you know, or like a bottom quarter.
Okay, I'm looking at a size comparison. The Star Wars Imperial Super Star Destroyer is the same size as Manhattan.
Yeah.
So it's like
giant floating city.
Yeah, it's big. Wow.
So covered in guns. So that's where like they're meeting all these bounty hunters, and that's where they're launching these probes from. That's where Darth Vader's holding all his special ships and stuff, and his goon squad.
Okay, so one of the probes lands on Hoth and begins to survey the planet. Luke Skywalker, on patrol astride his Tauntaun, discovers the probe. All right, Tauntaun is a clickable. Let's check it out. It's, I mean, we all know what it is. It's that kangaroo horse-looking animal.
Yeah, it smells worse on the inside than it does on the outside.
As most things do, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah, the probe droid and the Tauntaun basically showed up in like every Star Wars game, like since, you know. So like, I'm telling you, how many probe droids have blown up?
A probe droid. Those are the little circles, the little balls that have like antennas sticking out of them.
They look like the Matrix monsters, except less tentacles.
Oh, you know. Okay.
So like, the Matrix monsters are total ripoff.
Really?
These probe droids have to be. Just look at them.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't. Well, they're just like basically like discs with cameras, you know, like all directions with little actuating hands underneath. So kind of cool.
Yeah, that is
kind of lame, but it's been used 10,000 times since. You know, it's very inspiring concept.
Yeah. Okay, so he discovers the probe and he mistakes it for a meteorite. After reporting to Comrade.
Yeah, he calls in the base and says like, "I'm gonna go check out this meteorite." And then like they said like the meteors are like basically covering up their radar. They're like, we are not going to be able to detect anything in orbit with all these meteorites flying around. Oh. So like basically, yeah,
that's what's like covering them from being discovered.
Well, it's covering the Empire's approach, you know, and like they're probe droids, so they don't even know that their cover is blown. Like the Empire could see them from space clearly. They're like, oh, look at this big ass shield generator. There's a giant shield down there. I wonder what they're shielding. So like the Empire's literally like about to like swoop in, and, like Han's dropping the hints, like, man, we're not able to detect anything but meteorites up there. This is bad news.
Oh, so it's all coming together. Okay, so they got so that's good. They explain stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really quick dialogue. I had to like rewind it real quick. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, like they put those little things in just to cover up their tracks. Like, you know, it makes sense. Like, okay, they didn't see this big ass ship coming because there's a bunch of meteors everywhere.
But the thing about this story is it like cuts back and forth quick. Like between Luke being outside and looking for this meteorite, you saw like Leia giving Han the cold shoulder, and then Han being like, I have to leave because I need to go pay off my bounty to Jabba, pretty much. Like, I saved the rebels. I've been out here for 3 years, you know, like,
yeah,
pissing Jabba off. So he's like, I need to go. She's like, you said you were going to stay. And then, like, basically giving him the double cold shoulder. Again, like,
yep, as girls do.
Playing coy. She's like, I don't even like scoundrels.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, hmm,
Sure you don't.
yes,
Yes.
not your type of guy. I'm not. You say, but yeah,
Oh, man.
that's the one thing about this movie is Luke will be training, and then you'll see Han get captured. Then Luke will be training again, walk into a cave, and then he'll get out of the cave, and then Leia will be fighting her way out, and like we'll just be cutting right back and forth. So get ready for that.
Yeah, well, that's good. Keeps it interesting. So Luke is
Yeah.
knocked unconscious by a deadly Wampa.
Yes,
So
underutilized Wampa.
yeah, that was a cool. It's basically the Abominable Snowman.
Apparently, they had a big ass like robot made for it, but it kept like malfunctioning,
Oh, really?
like a big old like Jaws monster type of deal. And they're like, "This thing sucks.
Oh man,
Robots are terrible. We need to replace all this shit with computers." It was like the Wampa basically ruined ruined practical effects forever.
Oh man.
Lucas started up Industrial Light of Magic after that point and never used a robot again.
Industrial Item Magic. That's his special effects
Industrial
company.
Light,
Oh,
Light,
Industrial Light Magic.
and or Magic, ILM, Industrial Light and Magic,
Oh, okay.
ILM.
When Luke fails to report in the Echo base, Han Solo goes out on his Tauntaun to search for him in an approaching storm.
It's freezing out there. You can't go out there. My friend's out there.
Yeah, that's a good line. It's like,
You
okay,
know,
Han's
so
a good guy. He wouldn't shoot anybody randomly at a bar.
no, not first or last. It's completely in self-defense and
Yeah,
only saves his friend when it's cold.
he's a good guy. Upon waking
Great
up,
guy.
Luke finds himself hanging upside down in a cave, his eyes open to the sight of a Wampa eating his Tauntaun. Oh.
Yes.
Using the power of the Force, Luke is able to pull his lightsaber out of the snow and towards himself. After he ignites it, he cuts himself free and cuts off the attacking Wampa's arm just in time, running out of the cave and escaping into the cold night of Hoth.
This always gave me a panic attack as a kid.
Why?
It was just fucking intense, dude.
Oh, they're killing the Wampa?
Like, well, the way they edited it, like to keep out like the robot, it was more intense for with the original cut, where he's like looking up at his feet and it was all frozen over, and he's looking down, and then he hears it, and like there's like just like basically all you see is like the Wampa arm like reaching out towards him, like basically like an actual like spooky boogeyman monster, like reaching him like barely in time
Oh,
to
man.
get the lightsaber, you know. So he's basically like the Wampa's like right up on him, and all you saw was like the claws like reach towards him. He like barely lift the lightsaber and like swiped up to cut his arms off. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of arm cutting.
Yeah, that is.
I guess that's the only thing lightsabers are good
Yeah,
for.
that's what they do.
Really, completely defensive weapon. They're like, step back 6 feet, or I'll slice your fucking hands off. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Luke tries to make his way to Echo
So
Base
cool.
on foot, but he finds himself lost in the blizzard and collapses in the snow. Suddenly, he sees the Force spirit of Obi-Wan Kenobi appear before him. Whoa, okay.
Ben.
Ben tells Luke to go to Dagobah to undergo training under Yoda, a Jedi Grand Master. Ooh, Yoda time. Okay, so at this time, how old is Baby Yoda?
Mhm.
He's probably
What does that have to
60,
do with this?
right?
What do you
Like
mean?
Baby Yoda is like 60 years old right now.
All this Baby Yoda takes place after Return of the Jedi,
Hmm.
and he's 50 years old 8 years after Return of the Jedi.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
The movie that comes out after this,
Hmm. Oh, so
Return of
okay,
the Jedi.
so Baby Yoda's like 40.
Potentially.
Okay. After the spirit.
What's your thought process on that?
What?
What's your thought process on that?
Oh, I was just curious where Baby Yoda's at right now.
Probably on Tatooine, being held by somebody who cares about him.
He's probably
We never found out about that. That was a drop point.
yeah. Like where was he? So this is before Luke finds him, but this is during.
Maybe Luke.
This is before Mandalorian finds him too. So right now, the Imperials.
Maybe Luke knew about him.
Huh?
Luke lived on Tatooine. Maybe Luke dropped him off there with those guys to protect him.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Okay. After the spirit disappears, Han arrives to find an almost unconscious Luke who is mumbling indistinctly about Ben, Yoda, and Dagobah. At this point, the Tauntaun that Han was riding on collapses in the extreme cold. To keep Luke from freezing to death during the blizzard, Han uses Luke's lightsaber to cut open the dead Tauntaun and places Luke in it.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I first saw that, I was like, who does that? And then I've seen probably 3 movies where they cut open like a horse and then get in the horse. Like they did that in The Revenant. He gets inside of his horse like that and like sleeps there overnight. And then there was probably one more.
I want to say Hidalgo, but I think he had his horse at the end. I think he cut somebody else's horse up.
Oh, yeah, probably. I've seen it a couple times. I guess it's an actual thing people do.
Yeah, it's like a desert thing mostly. Like when the fucking it gets cold in the desert, you like cut a camel open. I think that's like the concept. Apparently, the desert gets like freezing cold at night.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Han then sets
no humidity.
What?
No humidity.
Oh, yeah, and like no wind breaks.
Yeah.
Han then sets about erecting a shelter that he and Luke will stay in during the night. They are forced to stay out during the night as the aircraft snowspeeders that the rebels use for atmospheric flight have not yet been adapted for the extremely low temperatures of the Hoth night and are therefore unable to mount a rescue operation to retrieve Han and Luke. So basically, the rebels cannot save them at night.
I never understood this.
What?
It's like when the rebels come and save them, they're literally still out like in the middle of the damn. Like you can still see the Tauntaun and stuff. Like I'm like, where did Han stay?
I mean, he made his own shelter apparently somehow. I don't know. Maybe he bunked with Luke. Who knows?
Yeah, scoot over, pal.
Your feet are touching me.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna have to hold your breath in there.
The next morning, rebel pilots flying the snowspeeders set out from Echo Base to search for the missing men. Okay, so in the morning, the rebels fly out, go save them.
And he has a radio that works. They start communicating. They're like, I'm over here. Like, I don't know why the hell it didn't work at night, but I guess no future radios.
No, it just said they couldn't. The rebels don't have the technology to go out at night and like survive. Like if they did, then Han would have taken whatever like they could that would survive the cold instead of the Tauntaun. But they don't have anything apparently.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Maybe it was mentioned before. It was, yeah. Han was getting his Millennium Falcon ready to go, and then Luke was about to head out on patrol, and he was like, basically just said, "You take care of yourself, Han." You know, like. Like the same fucking guilt trip that I gave him during the last movie. Like, yeah, well, I'm going to be murdered by bounty hunters if I don't do this. So, like, all right, later, punk. You know, like, and he's like, don't stay out there too long. We can't blah 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 excuses. Snow speeders. So, something like that.
The next morning, rebel pilots flying the snow speeders set out from Echo Base to search for the missing men. Zev Senexka, one of the pilots in Rogue Group, makes contact with Han over the comlink, and the pair are rescued. When they are taken back to base, Luke is put in a Bacta tank for healing under the care of the medical droid 21B.
So basically, yeah, once again, he got his face fucked up by a Wampa to cover up his driving fast.
Yeah, so the whole opening was just because he got in a car wreck.
Yeah, there was some scene. I remember watching a documentary where they're like, we took a flight up to Norway because it had the best snow, but then an actual blizzard came in. So like they're like, we couldn't leave the hotel at all. Like, so we basically had opened the back door to the hotel and we sent Mark out there with his costume.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like one of these like Ben, you know, like those ones where he's like collapsing in the snow. They're like, all right, we're gonna need you to do this like 70 times, you know, like they're like just recording it from their room.
Oh man.
They're like, all right, now jump out on the patio, dude. They're like, this looks like a desolate wasteland. Like, good enough for me.
Was it actually shot like, you know, outside the hotel?
Yeah, like they had the cameras inside their hotel room with the back door open, recording Mark outside the hotel room, collapsing in the snow. Straight up.
That's pretty funny.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Princess Leia Organa tries to urge Han to stay with the rebels. And when Han assumes it is because she has feelings for him, Leia loses her temper and calls him a stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Yes, there we go. Scruffy looking nerf herder. Who's scruffy looking? Yeah. Not denying anything else. Scruffy looking.
Scruffy.
Who's scruffy looking? I did my nails this morning.
Meanwhile, the probe droid has spotted signs that indicate Hoth is occupied and sends a signal to the Imperial fleet. Shortly before being destroyed by Han Solo and Chewbacca, or shortly before being destroyed by Han Solo and Chewbacca.
So Han goes out on patrol after Luke gets stuck out on patrol? Oh yeah, Luke tells him, and then he's like, oh shit, are these meteors?
Yeah,
not meteors?
Luke is currently in the medical bay. So Han goes out and he destroys one. And so now they know that the Imperials have droids.
I think Chewbacca destroys it.
Chewbacca probably does everything.
He's got a life debt. That means he takes all credit. Anything he does, I take credit
That was
for.
actually me.
His medal. He's like, yeah, like fucking Chewbacca's literally like at the gunner. He's the one who shot Darth Vader, dude. Chewbacca literally shot Darth Vader off of fucking Luke Skywalker. Now blow this guy and go home. Like that's all that fucking Han did. You know, like I guess he flew down the trench. You can't deny
Chewbacca
that.
is seriously underappreciated.
Beyond underappreciated.
Aboard the Executor, Admiral Kendall Ozzel dismisses the information as evidence of smugglers, nothing more. However, Darth Vader knows better and orders the fleet to Hoth. Okay, so she's like, nah, it's just some smugglers. But Darth Vader's like, no, I don't think so. I wonder how he knew.
So Luke didn't know that there was a probe droid. Luke just got ambushed by a fucking Wampa. Yeah. He has the Force. He could curve the bullet, but gets ambushed by a polar bear.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's still learning. Like, he hasn't been trained by Yoda yet, you know?
At this point, nobody knows what a Yoda is. All they know is he's a Jedi Master.
Yeah, Yoda the Jedi Master. Probably like a 6-foot dude.
Yeah.
Super buff. That's what everybody's thinking.
Ripped, glistening abs.
Speaks normally and not backwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like Obi-Wan.
That's probably what he's thinking.
That's exactly what he's thinking. Like Yodi one.
Ben Yodi.
Am I right? Oh, Ben Yodi
one. General.
He must mean all the Yoda one. Kenobi.
Yeah.
Old Yoda.
Ben Yodi Kenobi.
Yes. Yoda. He must be talking about old Yoda.
Old Yoda lives down the street.
Yes, it's safe to say. It's safe to say that those might be the same thing.
All right, General Riken, realizing the Empire is probably aware of their location, orders the evacuation of Echo Base to begin. So, Empire's on the way. Echo Base is getting out of there.
Every Star. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking about Star Wars forever.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Every Star Wars video game has a Hoth and an Echo Base and a snow speeder going around the feet of a walker segment.
That's the best part.
Like that's a staple, and like you have to have it, or you'll potentially lose money. You know, it is in fact. The best part.
I remember. But I want to say it was Battlefield, I guess, or is it called Battlefield? Battlefront.
Battlefront.
There's like one level where it's like you're on a snow speeder, you're playing the snow stormtroopers, and you could like. Am I misremembering? It was like that's the map.
Yeah, I assume you're talking about you get to have some walkers.
Man, I don't even remember.
Walk in.
But I do remember something like that.
Well, you got two elements there.
It was
Star Wars. You're probably right.
All right, the Battle of Hoth. Darth Vader and the Imperial forces set course for the Hoth system to set up the attack. The rebels load whatever equipment they can onto transports and plan a rear guard action to secure their escape. Okay, so they're like, all right.
Basically a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they're like, let's get out of here.
Operation hide behind the guys who are going to stay back and die.
Yeah. Luke, now fully recovered.
Noble.
That's not noble.
It is noble. It is noble.
Luke, now fully recovered from the Wampa attack and subsequent exposure, says farewell to Chewbacca and Solo. who have decided to leave the Alliance to resolve their debt to Jabba the Hutt.
Yep.
So,
And this is where you get your famous brother and sister.
oh
Kissing.
yeah.
She's like, oh, I don't need a scruffy looking nerf herder when I got this one. She like gives him like some tongue, and fucking Han like runs out of the room like, shut up, like father like son. Am I right? Just like Kylo. Shut your fucking mouth or throw a tantrum.
I want to throw this. As the Imperial forces enter the Hoth system, General Riken orders full power to the energy shield that is protecting the base from orbital bombardment. Aboard the Executor, General Maximilian Veers notifies Vader that Admiral Ozzel has emerged from Lightspeed too close to Hoth. Okay, so they're up on the ship and they're talking about battle stuff.
Okay. Notice how that guy has
Yeah,
three
his name
names.
is... Wait, who has three names?
Maximilian Pegasus
Maximilian
the Third or whatever.
What's his full name?
Doesn't he have three names? I thought he had three.
He was a clickable.
Oh, I thought you said three
his
names.
name is Maximilian Veers.
Oh, not Admiral guy who's going to survive.
His name is General Maximilian Veers. Well, what are three names? What was that about?
I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't survive more than like 3 minutes like into the scene. He's like, sir, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And like it cuts back to him like dead on the floor or something. I'm pretty sure that's the guy, right? Like I'm pretty sure like Riken is the guy who survives. He's like, all right, Admiral Riken, do not fail me again. He's like, gulp, like he does like an audible like
yeah.
You heard the man. I'm now the Admiral.
Like it just shows him laying dead on the ground.
It's like choke slammed through the like total heel turn. So
Ozzel to catch the rebels unaware before they could set up their defenses. However, Vader realizes that the rebels have been alerted to the fleet's arrival. So I wonder how Vader even knows these things.
Because he can feel. Listen, the Force has rules. Force is like feelings, mind stuff, push, pull, lightning, and like crush, and like other simple things. Not like healing and levitating and like projecting, manifesting, teleporting. Like none of that. that breaks all the rules that were established. Like you can move shit and you can mess with people's minds and you can feel the future. You can feel future and past feelings.
Whoa. Well, that's pretty cool.
And that's about it. Like that's why like Obi-Wan is like, I felt the 1,000 voices scream out in terror. Like
when that planet got destroyed. What was the planet?
Yeah,
Dantooine.
So you got that. Dantooine is too small for a proper blah blah blah. What fucking?
Oh, here it is. Vader force chokes Ozzel to death for his incompetence, then appoints Captain Firmus Pate to new admiral on the spot. So Ozzel's the one that got choked out.
Yeah, he definitely got choked out. Choked out something.
As Vader previously ordered, the Imperial Ground Forces, commanded by General Veers, landed outside the rebels' shield and march overland to destroy the power generator.
So they have all-terrain vehicles that are giant-legged
AT-ATs
that trip easily.
Right?
All-terrain armored transport.
Wow. I thought they were called four-legged walkers.
Who would ever say that?
Princess Leia gives the rebel fighters instructions on the evacuation. What?
Who would ever use the wrong word? Some uncivilized scoundrel.
I know of one who just did.
Well, they're supposed to be three-legged walkers, but
three-legged.
You haven't heard the lore.
If you have not told me of it, I have not heard about it.
Oh, well.
Well, how could they be a three-legged walker? Because if you lift one leg up, you're going to be standing on two legs, and you're probably going to fall over.
That's only Mark II. The Mark II three-legged walker only has two legs.
Wow. Okay. Well, now
Oh, you
Are
didn't
you
know
talking
that?
about the one in the Mandalorian in the swamp
That was,
episode, season 1, where they went to that village, the rice village?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes. The two-legged chicken
Okay,
walker.
okay.
Yes.
See, that one is 2 legs. That's okay. But then a third leg, I don't see how that would be structurally sound.
So we can hold bigger guns. Don't you know?
Hmm.
Guns. You know.
Yeah, but like,
Guns.
okay, I'll just have to figure it out.
Come on, bro.
Princess Leia gives the rebel fighters instructions on the evacuation to leave Hoth 2 to 3 ships at a time past the energy shield to a rendezvous point, which is beyond the outer rim. Okay, so like,
Yes.
everybody, we need to get out of here.
So basically, they're leaving the galaxy
Yeah, okay.
for the most part. I think they're gonna like go like above the astral plane, whatever the galaxy plane.
Whoa.
Basically, they're gonna go
Whoa.
up and leave instead of X and Y.
Yeah, I
You know?
understand that.
You know what I
mean?
You mean what I know?
That's super
The
funny.
astral plane.
Okay, I get you.
It's very, very scientific numbers,
Yes.
letters, mechanical stuff. So they're gonna basically Battlestar Galactica flotilla their way out of the galaxy in order to hide and I don't know, send out ravens for help.
Oh,
Game of Thrones
okay.
style. You know, they're like, send a raven to Dantooine or something.
Yeah.
You know, so they are looking for some help. But basically, all the rebels are going to be like in one place for like the immediate future
Okay.
because they're kind of on the run,
So
just like the rebels in
they're
the new
always
series.
on the run.
That are for no reason on the run.
Well, they're on the run because the Imperials are after them.
I'm like, yeah, okay. Let's just get into that
Mhm.
discussion real quick. You know that the Empire is the government
Okay.
because the Emperor,
Yeah.
and they're everywhere. But whenever the Emperor disappears, what happens? How many First Order planets are there? How many First Order Congress people are there? Are they in charge of the galaxy? Like how many of them are there? How powerful are there? Are they? Who are
Well,
they? You know,
they have
like
that huge
why
auditorium.
why are the rebels still the rebels? You know,
Wait,
that's my
so
question.
why do the Imperials want to kill the rebels?
I'm asking why the rebels are rebels again. You know, like why are the rebels still rebels 30 years
Oh,
from now?
like after the Emperor's like dead?
You know,
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So the Emperor dies, but then doesn't the plan of what the Empire wanted still keep going with whoever's in charge of the Empire under? Because it would be Snoke under the Emperor, right? Wasn't that what they
do
said
you
in
know that?
Star Wars?
I don't know that.
Snoke,
I
yeah,
don't
he's the
remember
next
that.
guy, right?
I think Snoke just leads the First Order.
Oh, okay. Wait. So when the Emperor dies, did the Empire like just disband?
I don't know that. I don't know.
Oh.
Nobody knows. That's the problem. That is literally the problem. Nobody knows who's been in charge this entire time. I guess only the Mandalorian knows. And apparently X-Wing fighters have been the law of the galaxy since. So I can understand why there isn't much going on, but like
Oh, I see.
who is in charge and why is
Okay.
all this
what I
fucking
think.
weird?
So
You know?
the Emperor died, and the Empire was trying to take over the entire galaxy to basically create one localized system of law that covered the entire galaxy, which is what like an empire does, right? So,
Well, not even law. He just like wants all resources.
well,
and
basically,
all
yeah, like
bodies. You know, like he wants
basically
all
make
minds and
the whole
bodies under
galaxy like
control
one country.
and all resources.
Okay, where like taxes are centralized and all that
Communism.
stuff. That's what the Empire was trying to do, I assume. Secretly, the Emperor was actually a bad guy, so he was gonna do bad stuff. But that's a total different. That's a total separate thing, in my opinion. Like the Empire is like that big room full of people, right? So not all of them are like evil. They're just people who are trying to not create wars between little fighting communities. But then you have the Emperor, who's like on top of this, and he's actually trying to like shovel in the dark side and do what the dark side wants. So
I hear what you're saying. You're basically saying the Emperor is constantly doing 9/11.
yes, yeah, okay,
That's exactly
yes.
what you're saying. The Emperor is literally like not weapons of mass destruction. You saw the towers. You saw them towers. Iraq. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on, wait, what? You cannot deny this any further. 9/11 Iraq happened. I'm like, wait,
Okay.
wait,
So yeah,
what?
like the
When
Emperor
did what?
is
What?
basically causing little battles, making his enemies seem bad in order to get the Imperials to kill like who he wants. But then anyways, on top of that,
the
so
War
the
on
Emperor
Terror.
dies.
Oh my god.
Then the Empire probably disbands and probably
Oh my god, the war on terror we've lost the war on terrorism. The Empire lost the war on terrorism. Oh my god, the terrorists won. This is the darkest reality.
well, according to the Empire, yes.
Oh my
But little did the Empire know.
god. I love that. That they literally are doing that in Mandalorian. They're like, terrorism has won. And it's a sad day of the Empire. Long live the Empire. It's like, I'm proud to be an Imperial.
It is very paralleling some things. Yes.
Hilarious. I don't even. Oh, fuck! I wish I knew that song. Damn it! Oh god dang. Anyway, like freedom isn't free. Yeah, I feel it, dude. I feel that. Oh
okay.
my god.
So, okay. But anyways, so the Imperials, all
Correct-
those
correct
people
me
in
if I'm
that
wrong.
room broke into subcategories. One of them was the First Order, which is the bad people in the Mandalorian, right? That's the Disney.
No, those are the Imperial
Okay, so you got them, you got the bad people in the Mandalorian, you got the bad people in the Disney ones, you got, all these things. You know what I mean? So that's probably what's happening.
So in all the books, they just like the rebels basically like confiscate all of like the Imperial shit. They're like they're basically using like the battleships, like to wage war. Like Akbar has a freaking
Whoa.
Star Destroyer,
Really?
Yeah. They're like there's multiple super Star Destroyers and like they actually capture one of them,
Wow.
so they have a super Star Destroyer.
That's pretty amazing.
That's why I'm like I want them to learn to read so they can make good Star Wars stuff. They could CG Luke's face just fine. We saw it. Dude, we need to cover these Star Wars comic books, dude. Like these Dark Horse comic books where they like cover after this, like from this after the Return of the Jedi, and I think they have like between Empire and Jedi, like something called Shadow of the Empire.
Okay.
Like really, really good.
Like it takes place after the Disney movies?
No, God, no. God, Jesus Christ, no.
Okay.
No.
Wait, Return of the Empire is
No,
Return of the
I
Empire
would
is
never
which
watch
one?
anything. Return of the Empire
Oh,
is
we're
the movie
doing-
that we're doing right now.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Shadow of the Empire is
Yeah.
what I said. Shadow of the Empire, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it takes place during this movie and between this and Return of the Jedi. Like, there's the Emperor's like toying with the idea of like getting another apprentice, where he's got like some gangster that he
Wait.
is like led into his inner circle to like
Oh.
listen in on meetings between him and Darth Vader, and like this dude's like can kind of read people's minds and kind of like has like these abilities to like he has pheromones that shift people's I don't
Really?
know, feelings towards him. Like yeah, they're like, oh, I get a warm sensation. Great guy, great, fantastic guy, Shinron, great guy. I trust him with my girlfriend. And then like you'll like turn on the seduction pheromones. And you're like, oh my god, he's so irresistible.
name is Shinron?
So he kisses Leia or
Oh.
something. I think it's Shinron or something. They made a video game about this. They made pretty sure they made a comic book about it. There's a
Let's
book
check it
series
out.
about
This sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And I think it's a short series, but like there's a giant like catalog of comic books that take place after Return of the Jedi, where like Luke's just hunting down freaking Emperor clones, like tearing them up, just like absolutely ripping stormtroopers apart mentally, fucking with them.
That's pretty cool. Let's check it out.
So yeah. So I'm like, he built a good foundation, So it's a shame it wasn't utilized properly, especially by people that spent billions of dollars for the property.
Yeah. Okay. Princess Leia gives the rebel fighters instructions on the evacuation to leave Hoth 2 or 3 ships at a time past the energy shield to a rendezvous point, which is beyond the outer rim. Riken lowers the shields to fire the ion cannon at one of the Imperial Star Destroyers, allowing the first transports to escape. Okay.
This is probably the coolest thing. Like, I think it's the first time that like ion was used on screen, but like it like
Really?
totally shuts down Star Destroyer. You know? Yeah, they do like a burst, like a BR rifle, like doom, like shoot like three round bursts, and like it like completely like the Star
Oh.
Destroyer's like losing orbit. Like the engine's completely shut down.
That's pretty cool.
So like hands down, like I was like, if you could have any weapon in Star Wars, like that's the one, you know. I'm like pretty sure that would shut down the
Yeah.
Death Star if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, I mean,
you
if
know,
you shut down a Star Destroyer, then yeah.
shut out. Like ion, like apparently like disable shields. It's
All right. The rebel pilots
will get to
assigned
it.
to hold off on the Imperial ground assault and depart the Hoth base for the oncoming battle against heavily equipped Imperial forces, who are armed with agile AT-STs, all-terrain scout transports, and monstrous AT-ATs, all-terrain armored transport walkers, led by General Veers. So here's the part where all the walkers are coming.
Yes, the Battle of Beach Normandy something. I don't know what they're referencing. It's got to be something.
Yeah.
It's definitely intense. You know, like you got to
Yeah.
feel really sorry for the guys.
The
on the
Rogue
ground.
Squadron, Snow Speeder Group, led by Luke, commences the attack. Luke quickly realizes the AT-AT's armor is far too strong for blasters and decides to use attached harpoons and tow cables to tangle the walker's legs. Luke's gunner, Dak Ralter, is hit and killed during the first approach.
So you can kind of get the idea that like harpoons and tow cables are not common accessories for this craft. They like basically like jerry.
Yeah, they're using like old technology, when nowadays they would just blast it with either an ion cannon or a laser beam or a tractor beam.
They're using tow cables.
Yeah, so they're just
towing
using
equipment.
something,
you know, like this is
conventional.
this is not armored transport destroying material. You know, this is literally like we're gonna hit them with the combiner and then run them through a fucking wood chipper. Guys, guys, I understand that you're stuck in the tool shed, but whoa, wait, slow down for a second. Yeah, sure, there's something you can do. I like the mention of Rogue Squadron. That's Luke's famous squadron of fighters that he flies with, and I do remember playing tons of Rogue Squadron games, and I'm assuming that they took place between. Actually, I don't even need to assume because usually Rogue Squadron has a Hoth mission in it almost every time. So I'm like, it's from after he blew up the Death Star to all the way to this movie, and then a little bit after. So he is a ace pilot, just like his daddy.
That's cool. Wait, so is that the same thing that's in Rogue One? Oh, not related.
No, not related at all. They just literally fucking stole it because
literally
stole it. Squadron is usually a fighter compliment, not some girl that says "I rebel."
Weird.
So at least she tried. They just stole the Rogue thing because they thought they would get people that played the Rogue Squadron games in those seats.
Well,
not one mention of Wedge or any of the other rogues in the Rogue Squadron.
The next sentence: this leaves
Not
Wedge,
cameo,
Antilles, and his gunner Wes Jansen to make the first pass. Antilles. Yeah.
You want to hear a fun fact? Click on Wedge's name there. Click on the actor. It should be like one of the first lines of fun facts.
Hang on. Well, I did, but it didn't have the actor because I'm on Wikipedia. Hang on. Portrayed by
I'll spill the beans.
Dennis Lawson?
I'll spill the beans.
Okay, just tell me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Our favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi actor?
Ian McGregor?
Hello there.
Yeah, that guy.
Ewan McGregor.
Okay.
Conor McGregor's father is actually the great nephew of fucking Wedge.
Really?
Antilles.
Wow. So they were all...
Yeah. He's like, my uncle was in the original Star Wars, and I was...
Oh, man.
Terrible.
I knew I could...
Terrible
I could hear it.
But he was like, I was a big fan. Big fan. I bet you were. Then he did a heroin movie, and
Yeah, yeah.
Got
Man.
got a big break.
Well, that's cool. He's a good actor. I
Good
like
for
it.
him. Nepotism is rampant in the movie industry.
Yeah. What?
Breaking news.
Well,
But yeah,
that's cool.
that's a fact. Unless I lied about it, then you'll never know.
They managed to topple one of the AT-ATs, which is destroyed as rebel troops storm it. The main AT-AT, commanded by General Veers, prepares to take their aim at the rebel base's main power generator. Suddenly, Luke's speeder is shot down by the Imperials and crash lands in the snow.
All right, can we talk about how? Just imagine
Yeah.
wrapping up an AT-AT.
Probably not easy.
Its legs. All right. Then imagine doing that with a fucking Nintendo 64 controller. Rip GG. Whose fucking idea was that?
Like, imagine doing it in real
What
life.
the
No.
fuck? All right, you push up on the D-pad. Yeah, exactly. And then you have to push down on the D-pad to retract the tow cable. Oh my god, 3 whole loops with that. Oh, what sensitivity level is it on?
Oh man.
Jesus.
Yes.
I have to admit that I probably spent at least 40 hours trying to wrap up some AT-AT legs on a few games. Minimum.
Oh man.
Minimum full work week. Stuck on a level. They're like, all right, the last possible thing you could do in this 30-minute long mission is to stop this AT-AT with a tow cable. I'm like, no. I'm like, literally got it down to like 4 minutes flat. I'm like, all right, I got the whole mission. I know where everything spawns. I know where all the tanks come out. I'm already spawn camping them. Boom, boom, boom. Failed at 3 times.
All right.
Is
Luke
cursed.
escapes before an
All right.
AT-AT can step on and crush his ship.
All right.
The rebel base is now under direct attack, and the Imperial stormtroopers have entered the base, forcing Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO to escape. Leia gives the evacuation command for the base as they leave. What?
Shame on you.
Yes,
You
I
don't-
do.
You don't remember the movie. I know you're reading, but like, you remember Luke fucking destroyed that AT-AT on foot.
Wait. Run it by me again how it went down exactly. I remember. I'm just testing you right now.
I watched it today, so
Mm-hmm.
let's just get that out of the way. But all right, he crashes and right in the walkway of an AT-AT. It's coming to step on him. He reaches in the back seat with his dead co-pilot back there. He gets his lightsaber out. He grabs a few things, and he gets out. The thing crushes his ship, and you're like, oh man, he's gonna have to walk back. And then he like basically like looks at it and starts running at the AT-AT. And then he gets between its legs, shoots a harpoon tow cable up, and zip lines up, and cuts a hole in the belly of the AT-AT. And no shame, bro.
He blows it up that way.
Drops a thermal detonator in that hole.
See,
Superman that Sir.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that home. So yeah, he basically solo kills one of them, which they talk about like, oh my god, it's armor plated, or your blasters won't do anything to that, blah blah blah. But Luke knows that it's vulnerable on the bottom, drops it in the transmission shaft and blows it up, falls over face first, and then what happens?
Wait, like before or after he blows it up?
Well, it only falls down.
Wait, so there was a second one they destroyed?
When he cuts it.
Mm-hmm.
He slices the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The grenade goes off. You see electricity, and then the thing trips. Wait, no, he destroys that one. You're absolutely right. But the thing I'm trying to say is when Wedge did the tow cable thing, he tripped that thing. It tripped, fell, and then something amazing happened. Do you recall? He's like, all right, we got him. Then a snow speeder comes around, shoots 2 shots at the thing that's on the ground, and explodes.
Wait, what?
in a million pieces.
Huh. Okay,
It's
so it throws a
armored.
grenade and it does not explode?
It does. Well, it doesn't like explode on the top half. It like blows up and then just
Oh.
falls over like sick dog. Like it like gets limp and then just like falls over sideways. I was like, oh, and I think I think they show even still probably has a like little stick that they use to like knock the prop over.
That's pretty funny.
Dead ass. They have it and it gets like boom boom. And then they have a stick from like under the stage where they like push the foot, just like
Man.
But the one that Wedge trips up, it falls down and they're like, pew,
Yeah,
pew,
that's
and
cool.
It explodes into a trillion pieces. It is cool. That's how this is supposed to work. Armored transport, heavily armored transport,
Oh, so you're saying it was not supposed to explode?
heavily armored, except whenever it He shot the armor up top. He just like literally just like did the same thing, like except it's laying on the ground. I don't know if it's shielded, heavily shielded transport. I don't. Maybe that's what's going on. And when he fell and scraped his knee, he lost
Well,
his
maybe it
shield
has
ability.
like a force field shield, and whenever it's not vertical, the shield is down.
That would have to be it, because it blew
Maybe.
up like it was made out of kerosene. Like maybe they're making their shit out of kerosene. But yeah, I think we get some snow troopers, which starts the trend of like, well, they have to have a new suit for every environment. That's just the logic. It's just logic and reason. So we get a
Cool. Okay, Luke,
snow
meanwhile, manages to destroy another AT-AT by using his hoist cable and lightsaber to get into the belly of the transport, tossing in a thermal detonator, and then detaching himself from the cable as a series of explosions neutralize the AT-AT. So this is exactly what you were just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Because like I said, the problem with this movie is they like cut away like mid action scene. Like Luke gets his ship stepped on and he's like, what the fuck? And then they cut away. Like, I'm like, well, I guess he's dead now. Like, so I guess Luke is getting shot by 1,000 laser beams, like the Last Jedi, like execution style. More lasers, like more of that, please, if you don't mind. But no,
the
apparently
rebels
was out
suffer
there
major
just fine.
casualties
I
as
know.
the result of battle. The main AT-AT, being driven by General Veers, gets within firing range of the power generator, then successfully blasts and destroys it. So they destroy their Hoth base.
Lucky he gets plot
Who, Veer
armored all
does?
the way to the shield generator.
Well, they toppled
Blows
two
it
of
up.
the walkers,
Yeah.
the four-legged walkers,
He's like
and they had probably 5, I'm guessing. Oh,
3 from my count, 3 or 4. You see, whenever you play the Hoth level on any of these video games, you're supposed to attack the one that's closest to the shield generator, not the one that's behind all the other ones that are shooting the shield generator.
Oh.
Let's
Han,
go
Leia,
Tactics
and
101.
company now realize they are being followed by Vader, who has arrived personally on Hoth, make their way to the Millennium Falcon in time to escape. Han, Leia, and company.
Oh my god, and company?
That's man, Chewbacca, this article would not have given Chewbacca a medal.
It's called Wikipedia, you son of a bitch.
Chewbacca and C-3PO and the rest, and R2-D2.
Company.
R2-D2! Yeah. As the Falcon... As the Falcon flies off, Luke reaches R2-D2 and his X-Wing Starfighter and finally departs Hoth, changing course from the rendezvous point. He sets his coordinates for Dagobah.
No, fucking R2's getting him hella sass, dude. Like, I think they have like an alternate, I don't know, what you call it, a spaceport. I don't know where the hell Luke is hiding his X-Wing, but it's not in that base. He literally has like a side base for his X-Wing, like a bug out.
Well, that's handy dandy.
It's probably the best way to describe it. On Hoth, that's why I'm like, I think he fucking knew something was happening. He's like, yo, let's get like 10 guys out there with
build
some
me
shovels,
a special hangar right over this way, right out of blast range.
Yeah, I'm like at least 30 miles away from this. Yeah, exactly. Like right at a glassing range, like in case they fucking nuke this place from orbit, Like, I need to be right outside that blast range for sure. But R2's giving him like some hella sass. He's like, no, don't worry about it. We're gonna go meet up with somebody. We're going to the Dagobah system. He's like, weep, 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 like fucking like dropping bombs left and
Han
right.
and company are pursued by Imperial TIE fighters. Again, it says Han and company. Han and a couple other people.
Han and nobody else that's important. Han and nobody. The man flying the plane and some broad and his dog and two unimportant people. They aren't even allowed to drink.
Flipping the switch to take them to light speed, Han realizes that the hyperdrive has been damaged. While trying to fix the hyperdrive system, Han enters an asteroid field to hamper pursuit. Okay, so was this an actual asteroid field or was this a planet?
This is the meteorites
Oh, okay.
and asteroids that were blocking
He manages to land his ship.
scanners.
Huh? It
Pretty
was probably
sure.
a planet at one time.
Pretty sure.
He managed to land his ship inside a cavern on one of the
Probably.
largest asteroids to rest and find a way to fix the ship.
But only after a fucking crazy intense fighting space sequence. The only
Between
one
the
in this
Millennium
episode,
Falcon
my
and
bad.
TIE fighters? Oh, yeah. It's the people wearing the masks and like the gas
Yeah.
mask looking things. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, the space Nazis. There's
Wait, what?
famously a potato and a shoe in the asteroid field when they're making all the all the asteroids for the scene. They like
Hold up.
there's a shoe
I
and
have
a
to look
potato
this
that they
up.
used. Like
I'm just going to type in shoe potato asteroid. Star Wars. First thing that comes up. Oh,
it's because
yeah.
Google's listening to this guy.
It is a shoe and a potato. That's hilarious.
Thank you, Google.
Oh, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
All right, the destiny
The
of
more
a
you know.
Jedi. Luke lands on the marshy planet Dagobah, swamping his X-wing in the process. There he discovers a diminutive and eccentric figure who fiddles around with Luke's gear. Then he guesses he's probably someone who
thinks
knows where Yoda
creature.
is. After
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. He's supposed to like he's playing Luke for a fool. You know, he's acting like a crazy person, so he can lure.
I
him
just thought he was
into
kind of a
false sense
goofball.
emotion, you know, well, he completely changes
Yeah,
his
that's
demeanor
true.
once they hit his house. You know, once he says he's too young. You know, like his whole demeanor
That's
completely
true.
changes. Like he never becomes Goofy Yoda ever again until he becomes a Force ghost and burns down to the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, he goes through phases.
In The Last Jedi. He literally is only Goofy Yoda to trick Luke into treating him like a shitbag in order to find out what kind of guy he is and whether he's worth training. And after he dies, and he burns down the sacred Jedi texts. So it's up to you, man. Whatever you decide is your favorite thing.
Yeah, because he's serious the whole time in the
that's it.
prequels. He's
That's
never funny.
Goofy Yoda.
So I assume that's his real.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
fucking Jedi master, and that's what he portrays himself as.
After Luke.
Yeah, well, that's because George understood
Look,
why Yoda's being goofy.
So he's being goofy
you know,
to
watched the movies.
see how Luke treats him.
pretty much, yeah, to be like, hey, I'm not the guy you're looking for, you know, like Yoda's sizing Luke up, you know, he's not gonna show Luke his fucking. Hi, I'm Yoda, you know, like then yes, Master Yoda, hi, you know, he's gonna be like, come on, get away, scat, shoo, you know, you've got a
But
hint
Luke
of the dark
didn't
side in you, just
pass
like your
that
father,
test.
you
Like,
know,
wasn't he like a doucher to Yoda?
that type of shit.
Okay, but then Luke
Yeah.
ended up being
And he's
the
too
chosen
old,
one, right?
too old to begin the training.
No,
No,
I thought Luke was the child of prophecy.
Anakin was the chosen one.
Oh, he just.
Anakin was the chosen one. I'm the child of prophecy. My name is
Okay, but
Anakin.
wait, what was the prophecy?
Are you an angel?
It was something super vague. Okay, but Anakin did not bring balance.
Bring
to the
balance
Force,
to the
did he?
Force.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He threw the Emperor over the ledge, and then there was one Jedi and one Sith, and then he died, and then now there's only one Jedi. That which only means that Snoke has to rise up out of nothingness to become, I don't know, a rebalance to the Force.
That's very interesting.
It's like poetry,
Okay.
so that it rhymes.
Okay.
So yeah, he brought balance to the Force, which was retcon basically by fucking. The prophecy was made in the prequels, and it was, you know, it was technically true the whole time. Ever since he made the prophecy, he is the one. But everyone's like, "Oh, we're supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Supposed to bring balance to the Force,
Okay,
not
okay. But he ended
bring
up
it into
fixing
darkness."
it in the end. Okay.
That whole thing. Yeah, he played the long con, and then the comic books and the books basically did the same thing for Luke Skywalker. When he finds out the Emperor comes back, he's like, I will bring balance to the Force now by joining the Emperor and finding out where his fucking clones keep popping up. And then he kills the Emperor that way by becoming the Darth Vader.
Does Luke get a Sith name?
That time, and basically.
Oh.
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. It's probably
Like
something
Darth
badass.
Skywalker-y.
The Puss Destroyer. 9,000.
That's super fun.
Kyle Katarn. Rendar. The third.
Okay. After Luke tells him he is looking for a Jedi Master, the being offers to take Luke to Yoda. So he's like, "Come with me." The same old Yoda that lives over down the
Come
street.
with me. You eat dinner with me.
You mean old Yoda? Oh,
Old man Yodi? Oh, you mean old Yoda? No,
nah, he'd be a baby.
looking for 50-year-old Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goo goo gaga.
Back on the Falcon,
Yoda.
when Leia tries to make repairs, Han makes his move on the princess, drawing himself closer to her before both end up in a passionate kiss. When 3PO, what?
Dude, this scene right here, like fucking, if you look at what she's doing, like it is the least mechanically like appropriate thing. You know, she's like, I don't know, like locking a box. She's like hitting a box with a torch, locking the box, and then hyper extending a
She's like-
wheel. You
she's like
know, like
poking
I
it
was
with a
like, it
screwdriver or
clearly
something.
doesn't fucking turn anymore. You hear like click, click.
Yeah, take a hammer and
Exactly, like,
says,
Work, busy,
"Hit the wall for a
work
while."
here. We're working. Work. It was like, this is the techno, physical techno I've ever seen in my life. She's like, too busy preparing the hard drive to suck your dick in front of the robot. You know, she's like, come on, I'm not asking you to do it in front of the robot, just in front of R2 so he can record it.
When 3PO arrives, Leia withdraws and walks away.
Oh, total cock block. Dude, that is the only role that C3PO has this whole time. Like, he literally is a giant cock block. He gets destroyed, doesn't warn anybody, isn't helpful, like beyond Jar Jar Binks levels of like salvation.
Oh man, that's funny.
He just awful, god awful, terrible. This is the worst C3PO like of all of them. And that's hard to top. But yeah, this is the low point for C3PO right here.
That's funny.
Like, it doesn't get any better from here. Like, let me skip ahead real quick. Like, right at the last point in the movie, he's like, R2's like fixing the hyperdrive. He's like, R2, you don't know anything about fixing hyperdrives. Now get over here and attach my leg. And stop trying to be a hero. And then like R2 literally like fixes the hyperdrive and saves everybody. He's like, oh, you did it. Like, I'm like, you wanted him to stop to fix your leg, and then so you can what?
Yeah, die.
So you can what? So you can what? So you can do what? So
What?
you can do what? So you can stand there and talk. So you can help fix the hyper now.
Stand there and just talk.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, Vader orders.
But I also we got to stop whenever it happens. Like that C3PO tries to help fix the hyperdrive. It happens a little bit later. We're
Okay.
gonna talk about that.
I assume he didn't
Right.
do any helping.
Well, Han specifically asked him to help talk to the hyperdrive, and there's a big thing about it's actually coming up pretty soon. But he says, talk to the hyperdrive, and he's like, oh dear, you know,
Mhm.
like whatever he does, and then he's like, your hyperdrive has a very interesting dialect. So that means in the Han Solo spin-off movie that they have to give the hyperdrive a voice. And what's that voice?
Wait, what? Okay, so
A female feminist robot leader
Really?
or something. Some sort of she's the she's the protesting robot that I brought up
oh, really?
several times. Yeah. They plug her right into the computer, so like they're like basically trying to take the Han Solo can fly like away from him. You know, like, he's the reason why he did the parsecs. You know, he's the whole reason why he's getting. I know some maneuvers. Please, ship, help me.
Oh, wow.
Please.
Really?
Please. Hell yeah, they're trying to like fucking undermine that. Like Han Solo's wouldn't be nearly as good of a pilot if it weren't for the strong feminist robot that lives inside the
Okay,
computer.
okay. I see. Yeah.
Droids' lives matter. I'm like, okay.
Calm down. Calm down, please.
Yes.
Vader orders the entirety of the Death Squadron to begin sweeping the asteroid field to find the Millennium Falcon as the search continues. The dangers of the field to take their toll, an asteroid smashes into the bridge tower of the Star Destroyer, presumably killing all aboard. All right, so the Star Destroyer is too big.
So we have a free Star Destroyer kill on our side. Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Good job.
Easy money.
Han will take credit for that all day long.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take my medal in the mail. Send Cat PayPal it to me.
On the Executor, Vader communicates with the captains on the other ships. The captain of the demolished Star Destroyer throws his arms up in horror, and the transmission fades. One officer, Captain Lorth Nida, tells Vader that they should consider their damage.
Ooh, no, he didn't.
Vader firmly replies that they will continue their search. Admiral Pete informs Vader that the Emperor Sheev Palpatine commands he make his Sheev Palpatine commands that he make contact immediately. Vader orders the ship out of the asteroid field for a clear transmission.
Sheev. No shit, no lie, no joke. That's the dude's fucking name.
It was pretty bad.
What an evil gentleman.
Sheevil.
Oh!
Not a
really
coincidence.
can't get a more sounding name than like Weevil Underwood.
Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. It's time to do. Yeah. Oh, shit.
That show, I watch that show every Saturday morning.
I heard somebody describing watching a show that you watched when you were a kid and rewatching it. I think they were rewatching Dragon Ball Z, and they were like, rewatching the Namek saga was nowhere near as exciting as I remember. And I'm like, why is that? And he's like, because your brain as a child has a better imagination than you do now, and like you fill in the gaps that the story leave, you know.
Which one is the Namek? Yeah. Wait, which one's Namek?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Ah! No, this time on Dragon Ball Z. Ah! Next time.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Give me your power. Next time, give me more power.
The spirit bomb. Yeah.
Last time, even more power. Next time, I'm going to throw it. Last time, I said I was going to throw it, but I thought about my first day at school. But this time, I'm going to throw it. You know, like, oh God, Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Why would it do this to me? What have I done? What have I done? Oh, I haven't done. You're like, yeah, as a child, you're like, oh my God, I can feel that energy coursing through my balls. Oh, yeah. It's going to destroy oh my God, he deflected it with his backhand. What? 6 weeks of coming home off the school bus, sprinting off the school bus. Sprinting to catch the end of Sailor Moon and the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. So you can deflect it? Piccolo, get in there, sacrifice yourself, do something. Kill yourself, Piccolo. Get in there and fucking destroy yourself.
Oh man, that is so funny.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me
that is funny.
Say I'm wrong.
That's
say I'm wrong.
No, it's good. It's good. I remember that. It's good. Good times.
Like, I had a similar experience with a show called Yu Yu Hakusho.
I know the show. I've not seen the show.
Spirit Detective. Just like Dragon Ball Z, you can channel all of your energy into one finger and then blast it out. So he's got a spirit gun. And I'm like, yes. He's like, you can only use it once per day, but if you have some extra spirit energy, you could maybe use it twice. But you know, but of course, the main hero has a little bit extra spirit energy because he dies in the first 3 seconds of the show.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, oh man, the imagination. Oh God, I can feel his spirit energy. But now I'm just like, can I play this at 2 times speed? You know, I'm like. Can I watch 2 shows side by side? Is that possible? Fuck's given or less now. So yeah, the power scaling.
Yeah.
Sir. I guess that's the point. Imagination with power scaling.
All right. In his private quarters, Vader receives a holographic message from Palpatine, alias Darth Sidious, who alerts the Dark Lord to a new enemy who could destroy the Empire. Luke Skywalker.
What? Son of Skywalker? How is that possible?
Oh boy.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true. Can he be converted to the dark side? Yes. Potentially.
Vader
you see it too. You see it. You see the seduction. Vader's really trying to do it.
Yeah, they're both
Everything
trying to
Vader
do it.
does.
They're doing the Naruto thing. We're at the end. Instead of fighting, they're talking.
Where, believe it. Yeah,
Believe it.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, yeah, You're right. The old, you can't fight. You've already been defeated. Now we talk. Yeah.
Vader suggests that if Luke could be turned, he would be a powerful ally. Lord Sidious agrees, saying that Luke would be a great asset and asks his apprentice if it could be done. Vader declares Luke will join the Empire or die.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun.
Promise, promise, promise.
Instead of going straight to Yoda, Luke is brought to a creature's hut. Luke insists on going to find Yoda immediately. That's crazy how this article is written like no one knows. Like we don't
the
know.
way the movie's supposed to be interpreted.
But now it's like everybody knows.
I know you're not supposed to spoil it for you. I understand you went into it knowing that fucking Darth Vader was Luke's father, but like that was supposed to be everything, you know. That was supposed to be like how the rest of this movie is supposed to be done. Twists, turns, you know. How do you? That's like it's like the Sixth Sense, you know.
Yeah,
like, I see dead people. You know, you can literally not watch that movie now. You know.
yeah.
You can't watch that movie the way it was intended. But I'm telling you what. The mind fuck that you get the first time you watch that movie, you're just like, oh my god, Bruce really didn't talk to anybody that whole time. Everybody was fucking ignoring the fuck out of him.
And he was wearing the same shirt the whole time.
Well, you've seen Tenacious D, you know that's possible.
Oh.
You wear the same shirt for the entire duration of a movie. I'm like,
yeah.
Clearly, several days have gone by, but your shirt will never change.
All right, Luke insists on going to find Yoda immediately, but the small creature only responds with, "Not fair, Yoda not far." Or wait, what? Oh, not far, Yoda not far.
Yoda, not far.
The diminutive figure then declares the boy lacks patience, but the voice of Kenobi tells the figure that the boy will learn patience if he is to be trained. Only then does Luke realize that the small green figure is Yoda.
I don't think Yoda can. I mean, Luke. I don't think Luke can hear Yoda talk to everyone.
I don't know. Can he?
I don't think that they're like hearing.
Oh, yes, he can because Obi-Wan is the one who told him to go to Dagobah.
Yeah, agreed.
But maybe it wasn't like a two-way conversation. It was more like a fever dream.
Yes.
Because whenever Han found him, he was just kind of mumbling. But Yoda and Obi-Wan are like having a straight-up conversation.
Yeah, I think it's like the fact that Yoda's talking to himself that makes him realize what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yoda asks Kenobi if he will finish whatever training he begins, then suspects that Luke will someday succumb to fear. Okay. Is that true? Did that ever happen?
Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, suffering leads to the dark side.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did Luke ever succumb to fear like how Yoda just said?
You see it in the final fight in here, then there's the cave scene where he's like, you only find what you bring with you. And he's like, I'm going to bring my guns and shit with me. It's fine. So I'm not going to be attacked by a swamp monster. But they're like, it's basically like shadow boxing himself. So he kind of succumbs to fear in the cave and he basically fails that bit of the training. So,
Okay. The next day, when cleaning parasitic creatures called Minox off the Falcon, Solo and his companions are forced to escape what turns out to be a Titanic space slug. I remember that part when I was like, God, so big.
Oh yeah, the worm that they're in.
Yeah. It's a huge worm and it's just chilling on an asteroid. Like, how much food comes by to feed that worm?
It's probably in the planet that got destroyed.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
You know the planet. You know the planet.
Okay.
You know the planet. You know the one. You know the planet.
Okay.
So you think all asteroid belts are blown up planets?
Oh, okay. Well, you mean like in real life? I think they were probably planets at one point. And the belt is just the orbit that they were in.
I think the Oort cloud used to be a planet. Maybe Nibiru.
Is that real life or is that Star Wars?
It's real life.
Oort cloud, huh?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Cloud. The Orc cloud. The Uruk-hai cloud.
Let me just do a quick Google
By
search.
Saruman, the destroyer.
Not sure. I don't know.
Johnson & Johnson is producing a COVID-19 vaccine.
Really?
One dose. One dose.
Johnson and
One take
Johnson.
Will. J&J.
Wow.
One take Willie.
I wonder if their stocks shot up.
Of course it did. I didn't tell you until 2 days after I found out. So
Johnson.
that bitch is all the way up. As high as it's probably gonna get.
Oh,
Nothing can stop it. It's all the way up.
well, I can tell exactly when it was released publicly. February
Hmm.
4th.
Yes.
Yep, it went from 160 to it went from 161 to 164 in the matter of like an hour.
That's like a $400. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Well, look at that.
Well, yeah. Well, it's hasn't been released yet, so maybe it'll kill a bunch of people.
Oh man.
Causes sterility in rats. Who knows?
Oh boy. Okay, meanwhile, Luke begins a rigorous training regime from Yoda, which includes a moral regimen. There we go. Wait, regimen. Which includes moral lessons about the dangers of the dark side of the Force. That particular lesson is driven home when he is told to enter a cave that is strong with the dark side's power. Whoa, that's weird. I didn't realize.
Yes.
I don't remember this part.
Yeah, because it's sandwiched between two of your favorite scenes, and you're like, oh man, now I can get up and go to the bathroom. So you're like,
wait,
this is like the real fucking good part of the movie.
What's the part after?
You'll find out.
Oh no. Okay.
I can't tell you everything.
So Luke enters the cave armed. Once inside, he has a vision of himself angrily confronting Darth Vader and beheading him. However, the severed head's mask bursts apart and reveals Luke's face with a scared look underneath. It is a warning that if Luke battles Vader with no emotional control, he will become Vader himself, seduced by the dark side. Oh, okay.
Ooh, baby.
So that whole thing was Yoda like showing him like you gotta take control of your stuff or the dark side's gonna get you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, or you're going to be the one under the mask and somebody's gonna be hunting you down. You know, you're gonna be exactly what you hate.
Yeah.
Become what you hate. It's basically the whole Czar storyline all over again.
Yeah. I lost where I was.
There's plenty to dive into if you want to talk about.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, you first.
I don't know what to say.
No, let's talk about how deep that moment is. You first. You start. You start with that.
Okay. Well,
Start with
he's scared he may become the bad guy. End.
Yes, he definitely will. The fear, you see the fear on Luke's face, you know, fear, anger, hate, suffering, dark side, you know. There's that. So deep, so many levels and features involved in this. It's just hard to put to words. So deep, so unbelievably deep.
And
the themes are
good and bad.
rich themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good guys and bad guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Alrighty then. I guess we'll keep it going.
Such deep themes.
Back on the Star Destroyer, Vader enlists the bounty hunters Boba Fett, Dengar, IG-88, Bosk, 4-LOM, and Zuckuss to find the Millennium Falcon for a substantial reward. Oh, so we have like a whole lineup of dudes. That's cool.
Yeah, you get the Imperial officers like literally talking shit about them in front of their faces, and they're like, "We don't need the bounty hunter scum to do our jobs for us," and like Bosk is like hissing at him. So, but yeah, we're missing a bunch of perfectly good Battlefront 2 bounty hunters there. You know, like they have fucking Dengar and Boba Fett, but where's my IG-88? You know, that's IG-11's granddaddy. You know.
Oh, really?
Well, kind of.
Wow.
A bit.
That's cool.
Like, it's a different model or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
Because this whole time we've had the same C-3PO.
Yes, you actually see a silver C-3PO in the first episode.
Oh yeah, he was on the Han Solo's friend. It's not his friend. It was walking or something.
Yeah, then I think you see an identical one on Bespin with Lando.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's pretty good model.
Pretty sure. I think he was like chasing tail too. He was like, "Oh, come back! I want to talk to you." And then she fucking lures him into the room of the stormtroopers. It.
One of the Imperial commanders finally spots the Falcon, leading to another pursuit, which results in the Falcon eluding the Empire by making the insanely countered intuitive move of attacking the lead Star Destroyer.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think what was meant to be said was they try to go to hyperspace and then they have a malfunction, and he's like, "Oh God, but why me?" And then like, he turns around and like basically starts like heading towards him.
Okay. So it was actually an accident.
In order, yeah, it was a total accident. Like, he was trying to take credit for it.
As Han does.
Typical. But he's like, "Don't worry, I know some maneuvers." Lazily listing to the left. I'm pretty sure this is that part.
Lazily listing to the left.
Like he like flying through and then like actually getting nothing done. So and then what? He like disappears. He flies like right over the bridge, like he's gonna crash into it, and then he disappears off radar. Like they think he hyperspace jumps. And then it cuts away, and I'm sure we're gonna get back to it at some point. She's like, "You better not get us killed, you scoundrel!" Kind of Leia being sassy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, however, at the last moment, the ship veers off and secretly attaches itself to the rear of the cruiser's command tower, which is not extensively covered by sensors, making it appear to have vanished from this destroyer's point of view.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He knows the maneuvers.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add for part 1 of episode 5, Empire Strikes Back?
There's tons that we missed.
Like what?
But I'm sure I'll think of it in part 2.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll drag us back to part 1 in part 2.
That's fine.
When I remember.
This is gonna be like a 5-parter.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah, this one's long.
Don't you put that voodoo on me.
Okay, well, this has been Learn the Burner. I'm Garrett.
And this is
I'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.